Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, another video. So we got married!
Woo! We did it.
Our wedding was about a week ago, but when this video is coming out, it's more like probably a couple weeks ago. But we filmed a video prior to the wedding just talking about like the preparing process and how we were feeling. And so now we're gonna kind of film like a reflection video. So
Okay.
let's get into it.
Good.
So leading up to the big day was a little bit stressful. We actually got into a car accident on our way back up to my parents' house for the wedding weekend in our brand new car. So that was not ideal. Got a bit injured. Our car got a bit smashed. And so that kind of made everything preparing for it a bit more stressful. And then the day of the rehearsal, something happened and the power went out in like our area for a couple hours right before the rehearsals. That was fun. So honestly, I think I didn't think much about the wedding just because there was so much other stuff going on. And then the day of, in the morning, I was feeling fine until I started going into hair and makeup, and then I started getting really nervous.
Yeah, leading up to the wedding was definitely a challenge. I think the car accident was just a big setback. I thought Thursday was going to be a super relaxing day, just kind of finishing up some of the final details, but instead it was spent dealing with car stuff and going to a chiropractor and everything like that the whole day. And then Friday was definitely also not an easy day with the power outage. Their steamer wasn't working, so they actually sent me to the store to buy a new steamer, so I picked out two different ones, and on the way back they said, hey, the power's out. And I'm like, well, these steamers aren't going to be useful, but thankfully it was all good that night. So yeah, lead up was rough.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Is we had prepped a lot, and our intention was that maybe Thursday, we were still working Thursday, so we were going to work and then get any final stuff that we had to get done so that on Friday we could just relax and have those moments. And I feel like we didn't necessarily get that relaxed time or decompression time, nor did we on the day of.
I mean, my morning on the day of was really just to get ready and have everyone over in the suite. So it was really just like 5-6 hours of being nervous there before we actually even did anything. My day of wasn't as rough, other than just the constant pacing back and forth worrying. But that did mean we ended up getting behind on a lot of stuff. And then even the day of, Danae is really into scheduling stuff. She had schedules printed out for every single person. It felt like we were sticking to the schedule fairly well, but we were heading over to the venue early for the guys. One of my groomsmen locked his keys in the car, so that delayed by a few minutes, but we still ended up getting there early. And we were worried because we weren't doing a first look, so I wasn't supposed to see her, but it turned out we actually got there before them because they were running even more behind.
We ended up doing a lot more getting ready photos at the house, and there was a couple other things that had us be a bit more behind. And I realized the schedule wasn't going to go perfectly, but it was a bit stressful because we weren't doing that first look, and we were both at the venue. We were each trying to take our different photos. So Damick actually had to end up doing his groomsmen photos like afterwards, and it was just, all of that was like a bit chaotic for sure.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it honestly didn't matter too much on the schedule, because also with doing the groomsmen photos after, they were getting a lot of photos of just Danae, and we had multiple photographers and videographers. So I felt like at that point, there weren't many photos we had to do with just the groomsmen, because we were still saving all of our joint photos for after, since we didn't do a first look. Really, it didn't make that big of a difference. It felt like we were way more behind than we were, but we had plenty of time for the cocktail hour to get all caught up. So.
The other thing that didn't really go according to plan is it was extremely windy. I'm so grateful it did not rain. The weather, aside from the wind, was beautiful. It was sunny, 75 maybe, like perfect, not too hot, but it was extremely windy. And so we had like an arch that they really had to tie down, or way down I should say, so that it was kind of wobbly during our ceremony, but it did not blow over. We also had these two big, beautiful bouquets that were supposed to go on these pillars in front of the aisle, and we just weren't able to do that because it was so windy. They would have blown right over. So they actually ended up putting them in front of the arch, which I think turned out to be better because it was kind of a tight squeeze for me coming around the aisle, like making that turn anyway. So I may have hit them because they also expanded out. They were very wide as well. And I think we did all of our like family photos and stuff by that arch area afterwards. So like those bouquets actually got to be somewhat utilized more than I think they would have been.
Yep.
So it actually ended up working out. Other than that though, I don't think there was anything else that, you know, because I getting behind schedule a bit and those few things, I don't think there was anything that really went not according to plan. We were pretty lucky that way.
Yeah. I think some of my favorite parts of the day too were definitely seeing her walking down the aisle for the first time since we didn't do a first look. Like that was definitely the highlight. I was trying to see her too because they come around a corner and then walk behind all the people and then walk down the aisle, but there were just way too many people between me and the back, so I couldn't see her right until she rounded that corner. But that was definitely my highlight.
Did I look as you expected me to look?
A little bit different, but obviously I didn't know like what your dress looked like or anything like that, and I think it all looked good. I liked your makeup a lot more than your trial makeup. Like I thought it was a lot more like you on the actual wedding day and everything, so I thought it looked really good. Your hair, I thought you were gonna have more of your hair down, but I thought it was kind of cute where you had some hair down and then the rest up like that. But yeah, no, you looked stunning.
I feel like for me, I don't regret not doing the first look. I think that it was still a really special moment to have, like, especially as the bride, of like dreaming kind of that moment of walking down the aisle. I definitely don't regret not doing it. I think it would have made our schedule a lot easier throughout the day. Things would have flowed a lot better, but it all worked out. And yeah, I feel like also when I like saw you, as soon as I came around the corner, I was like, your heart's beating, everything. As soon as I like saw you, I like kind of forgot about everyone else. Like, I mean, I like hugged my dad and stuff when we got up there, and then we like, you know, listened to her fishing, all of that. But like, even reading my vows and everything, I kind of forgot that everyone else was there. So
yeah, I was so nervous standing up there leading to that because I was looking at everyone and I was trying to focus just on our friends like walking down the aisle, but it was so difficult until you walked down the aisle, and then it was like, okay, there's like no one else there. And then I don't know, it helped too that we turned away from the rest of the audience for the first part, because then I felt like I could look over and focus just on you. I'm glad we didn't do the first look also. Yeah, that one was definitely a key moment for me. Otherwise, I liked the speeches from everyone. I thought they were really good. Maybe us going out and doing like the sunset photos, I thought that was just kind of fun because it was all like hectic, a lot of people and stuff, just having that little bit of time out there with just us, well, and the photographers and videographers. But I thought that was fun. But then it was also nice to come back in and dance with everyone. So I don't know. I liked everything.
it's kind of funny because I feel like I thought we were going to have similar ones, but I think mine are actually different. If I had to pick like my top three,
all in the morning before you sleep.
No, I think it would have been, I guess, just in order of the day, as soon as we walked back, like after the ceremony and stuff, and it kind of had that breath of like relief because I think we were both so nervous about the ceremony, and I really don't like that many people looking at me, and I was talking about it the whole time being like, oh, I wish we wouldn't have done the big wedding, or at least maybe done like a big reception, but like a small ceremony. Like I was just regretting like that whole decision so much right before I walked down the aisle, and then it ended up going wonderfully. I don't think we stuttered on our vows, and it was good. And then I think that sigh of relief of like, whew, now we can just kind of enjoy our day. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of agree with you on the speeches. I think that was my next favorite one. I think everyone smashed it. It was like wonderful and just really special. And I think just special to have all of the people there from different parts of our lives, like to sit up at our little, we were at a king's table so we could kind of like see out, and to see like all of these people who had played such a role at different periods of our lives, and to have like your people, my people, kind of all together. It was a really special moment. And then I would have to say my last favorite, if it's top 3 moments, was probably the very last song of the night, because we got almost, our goal was for the last song to try and get everyone that was still there on the dance floor. And we are estimated about like 40 to 50, right, people that are still there at the end of the night. And I think we got almost everyone. There were a couple stragglers in the bar area, but we got like almost everyone on the dance floor. And like, even like my dad was super into it, dancing and stuff, which is like not him at all. And I think everyone was like really into that last song, and it was just so fun to have that moment. And yeah, it was just really special.
And then at the ceremony, I'd say the vows were like another big part there that I was like worried about too, like speaking in front of everyone. I don't really like the whole public speaking, but during the vows I felt like it was really just us up there. Like I kind of forgot about all the other people. I think it helped too, like how well our vows meshed together. We only planned the like last paragraph of our vows together, and then a rough word count, but the rest of the vows were like very similar to one another.
It was quite funny because we didn't talk about like what we were writing in our vows or anything, and I had made it I was like, I want to go first, because I was so nervous, and I was like, I want to go first. And so I went first, and I think I'm so glad that I did, because my vows were almost like the beginning of conversation, right? And then yours was like a literal like answering mine almost. Not that mine were questions, but I don't know. Like it was so weird how well they like went together. We talked about all of the same things, and I feel like people will probably like think that we did talk about it. And aside from that last paragraph, I swear that we didn't. We did not.
And that's why I think everyone, when we had the same like last paragraph there, everyone was like,
I don't think so. I don't think that's why people thought that, because people came up to me and they were like specifically saying things like, "Oh, you guys both talked about this in your vows," or it had nothing to do with that. Like I think it was pretty obvious that last paragraph was the same.
Yeah.
The reception went really well too. We already kind of talked about that, but I think all of our vendors did an amazing job. Our DJ did like a really good job getting like everyone like hyped up at the beginning. We went like straight from like the grand march into the cake cutting, which I think was a good idea, because then we could just get that out of the way. And our venue had like saved a bit of all of the appetizers, because we were doing photos the entire cocktail hour, so we didn't get to like partake in that. So they saved a little bit each appetizer for us, and got us like, we had signature drinks, so they got us each our signature drinks. I feel like the whole reception went really well. I do wish we would have had maybe a bit more time to go around, say hi to each table and all of that, but it was crazy chaotic.
Yeah. It was just a little unfortunate with the timing of like when the sunset photos played out like right in the middle of our meal, so we did the appetizers and like salads, and then we had to head out, and then came back in, and then ate our meal quick before we started everything else. So that was a little tricky, but like they all handled it the best they could. They had the food there for us like pretty much immediately once we returned.
And I think all of the first dances and stuff went well too.
Yeah.
I think also we had so many people come up to us throughout the night and say specific, whether it was like decorations or stuff about our vendors or the food choices, or I don't know, anything like that. We had guests that came up to us and said that it really matched us. Like they could really see us kind of shining through different parts of the wedding. And I think that was really special too. It was also, I think, hard the day of to take moments that were like just us. Our photographer did a really good job at times when maybe we were like taking photos, right, and then we're walking back from photos. There's a couple of times where she was like, you guys go on ahead and just kind of walk together and enjoy this moment, and they kind of like walked further back, and I actually really appreciated that, because that was like our only moments really throughout the day where we really got just like the time. And then even we had like a shuttle that took guests back. to different hotels, and our shuttle driver was like, do you guys want to be dropped off first, or should we drop your guests off first? And at the end of the night, we were like, everyone's tired, let's just get the guests back. And then he asked us, like, do you guys want to go, there's like a faster way to get straight to your hotel, or we could take like this more like scenic route, just so you guys have some time to decompress and like reflect on the day. And so that just those little moments and stuff, I think it was good that people, I guess, paved those moments for us, because otherwise we might have not gotten those throughout the day, just moments of like just us.
Yeah, I think all of our vendors did a really good job. Bus driver was really personable with everyone, heard good compliments there. Our DJ got so many shout outs. I was surprised too. We had a lot of guests even that were sitting at some of the tables saying, hey, your DJ is so good. I'm like, come on, get up and dance then. Our DJ, I felt like he did a great job reading the room too and playing songs for each generation. Like there were just so many different people from all generations saying that the DJ was really good. So I think
there was a lull though. Like there was we had a really good idea of getting people on the dance floor, doing a group shot, and then playing a song. But then our photographer was leaving earlier on in the night, and we wanted to get all the bouquet tosses and all of that stuff done. So we kind of cleared off the dance floor. That's the one thing maybe I would have done differently before doing the group photo and all of that, like right after our first dances and with our parents and stuff, done the bouquet toss, all of that, and then done the group photo, and then just kept the dance floor going, because we kind of cleared everyone off. And once we cleared everyone off, it was kind of hard to get people back on. So there was like a lull there for a while, but I think it was also because we had a pretty even split of like an older crowd versus a younger crowd. And so the DJ was playing a lot of like our must play songs and things that we wanted to play, and it was like hard to get like that older crowd back on the dance floor. But he would like do a really good job balancing playing our songs, right, and then playing the songs that would get more people on the dance floor, and then maybe like going back to a couple of our songs. And I think he did a really good job still doing what we wanted while also maintaining a good amount of people on the dance floor.
I think Living on the Prayer really got everyone back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like the whole day just really brought us closer together, and I felt like even though we didn't have that many moments of just the two of us, even in those moments when it was like a big group, I still felt like we were able to have kind of those moments in there that were just the two of us, even surrounded by all the people. So I thought that was really nice. And I was so worried, like, once we were behind schedule, that you were going to be super stressed out. It sounded like that did make you a little stressed out there, but not as much as I think you would normally be stressed out by schedule changes.
Well, I think I was, but there was so many other people that were kind of taking care of it for me.
Yeah. You could rely on other people. And yeah, I guess having that ability to rely on other people and each other was a good thing.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised of, I do tend to get really stressed out. Like, I try to make sure everything goes perfectly. And people kept, telling me, like, oh, things are going to go wrong, things are going to go wrong. So I was preparing myself for it. But I thought, like, in the days leading up to the wedding, like, that I would be a lot more stressed than I was. And, I was, because of the car accident and all of that. But, like, solely about wedding stuff, I think I was actually surprised. We really, at least speaking for myself, I did not reach a point that I feel like other people would talk about where they were like, there was a time, I think, like the week or two before the wedding, where people kept talking about it and asking me about it, and I was like, okay, I kind of want to talk about something else. Because it just, when you feel like, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
But when you feel like that is the biggest thing in your life, it almost adds more pressure of like, okay, if this doesn't roll right. And it's fine. Like, it was fine people asking about it like once or twice, but then the constant focus, I was like, okay, there's also other things happening in the world or my life that like we can discuss. Like, this isn't, and maybe that was like a coping mechanism to not reach that point of like being like super overwhelmed. So I know we like structured certain time out of our day to do wedding stuff, and then the rest of the day we just kind of like didn't talk about it and just did normal things, watched Love Island, and wasn't super focused on that. And I think that really helped. I am glad that we did it the way that we did.
Like big wedding and everything, or like
I think
everything.
like prior to the wedding, we had talked about like for multiple reasons. First, I think it was like when we were a couple months prior when we were making all the final payments. We had sort of wished we maybe would have done like a smaller like destination wedding, especially because we like to travel. I think that would have been very much us. Then getting closer to the wedding, it was more so starting to feel like, okay, we're excited for the big reception, the dance, all of that, but like we wish we would have done a more like smaller, intimate like ceremony. Everything went very well, and I am glad that we did it the way that we did. But I think I would have been happy either way. Like even if we had changed it and done one of those other plans, I think that would have been just as beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think that was something we went back and forth on a lot of like destination wedding versus big wedding. Like, originally we both wanted the big wedding, and that's what we went with. I definitely don't regret it at all.
Mm-hmm.
We made a budget up front, definitely went over the budget in
the initial
most
budget
categories.
was so unrealistic.
Yes,
and then we made like a revised budget that
and
was
then
more
still
realistic,
went over
but
that.
still went over it.
Yeah, but I definitely don't regret that. Like, even though we went over budget, I felt like the things we went over budget on were actually worth it. To an extent.
Well, I can't imagine changing any of that.
Yeah.
Was the thing. Like if I had to
cut any of it out.
Yeah.
There was nothing I felt like we spent money on that I was like, oh, that was a waste to spend.
Because we didn't even really have too many decorations
No.
or any little things that we would have been like.
Yeah. There was surprisingly more decorations there than I was expecting, so thank you for those who brought some of those other little decorations. They were nice. Having a wedding planner, day of coordinator, I think helps. Someone that can be there, whether it's someone you actually hire or just someone you know,
Just having
friend-wise, someone to like make sure everything gets set up correctly in the way you want it is super helpful, because you probably won't have any time yourself that day to look over anything, especially if you don't do first look.
Well, and you don't want like necessarily to send a close family member or someone to have to do that on the day of. Like I can't imagine sending like one of our moms. But there were so many moments from that day that I'm so excited. We haven't gotten our wedding video back yet. I'm so excited to get that wedding video back. We did get a couple of our photos back, and even those were like so special to see. But just being able to like dance with our families and really like just, I don't know, so much about the day. We had 2 little ring bearers and flower girls too, and there's just so, we honestly did not think they would make it, but like they didn't, they were really shy, and they did beautifully, and just the way that they supported each other and everything throughout the day was so cute.
Yeah, I'm excited to get the photo and video back, especially for the parts that I didn't get to see. Like, I'm sure there's going to be parts of like when we were outside doing photos, but there were other people inside, or like her getting ready. Like, she didn't actually get to see the ring bearers and flower girls walk down, so that'll be something she gets to see. Yeah, anyone walking down. So that, I think that'll be exciting to get that video
to like relive those moments, and especially because we weren't together for, our ceremony wasn't until 4:30, so we weren't together for like pretty much the whole day. But and then all the dance moments and stuff. There's just so much stuff that I will never forget. But I guess my biggest tip is give yourself time. The engagement period too was so fun. I feel like for me, because at that point you're already committed to each other, and it's just, I don't know, like that was like a really fun period, and I honestly think we could have dragged it out longer, and really just like been, I don't know, loving that like time, because it was really fun, and that would be probably my biggest tip, is just like give yourself time to plan the wedding. Don't feel like you have to like rush it and do it in 6 months or whatever, because it is really fun.
Yeah, we had almost a 2-year engagement, and those first few months we didn't even have to worry about the wedding. It was just kind of enjoy that time together.
Well, we picked like a venue and a date, and then we were like, cool.
Yeah. Everything else, it's like, okay, some of it you have to wait on.
And you know what it was? Is we picked our venue, we picked our date, we kind of got to enjoy that whole like, woo, and then I think we picked a lot of our vendors right away in the beginning.
Like February time frame.
Yeah, but still like a year and a half prior to the wedding. Yeah, we picked most of our vendors. And then after you do that, all the like big stuff is kind of taken care of. And then we were able to just like enjoy stuff, talk about the little details. And it could be something we're like, oh yeah, but we can we can think more about it. Maybe we come up with a different idea. And all of the things that I would have done differently about the wedding were, I think for both of us, were all just really nitpicky things.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing major that we were like, oh, wish we wouldn't have done this.
Yep.
I think it was all just really little things that of course you're gonna find.
Yeah. I think anything I would have changed, there could have been something where we did that and then I would have been like, oh, I wish I would have done it this way instead, I think.
You just never know.
Yeah. The biggest thing probably is that scheduling of we should have done our like bouquet toss right after the special dances. I think that would have gone better. That was all on us, I guess, for picking that scheduling that way. Makes it hard to
I
get
do wish we would have
down.
gotten our late night snack.
Yes, and that. I had people come up to me saying that the late night snack was good.
Which I didn't even know it was out. Because I was like,
yeah.
I'm not even kidding you. I was on the dance floor the entire night. I did not even go to the bathroom. Like, I did not take a bathroom break.
I went to the bathroom and missed a good song. And and that didn't go well.
His song, like his one song.
So I did not leave to get the late night snack, even though I saw people with it.
Well, you could have asked someone else.
I know.
I guess that's what I should have done.
Yes, ask other people.
But I didn't even know it was out, and then I didn't even see people with it. But yeah, we had like a mac and cheese bar. Like, it was like a good mac and cheese bar, from what I heard. And then like wings and stuff, and we didn't get any of it. And they didn't save any. I was kind of a little bit salty that they didn't save any for us, like the venue, because they saved us all the other stuff.
They probably didn't know.
I know, they didn't know, but like.
If there was a lot left, that would have been great.
I wish
leftovers for a week.
But it's fine. But overall, everything went really well, and I think people kept saying to me, make sure you take a moment to like take it in, and I was like, yeah, okay, but like I was like, I'm gonna be so overwhelmed that I'm not gonna be able to do that. But I think I was. I mean, I was overwhelmed, but. I think I really was able to like enjoy the moments, and I thought I would be like extremely sad like as soon as that last song was over, that I was like, oh, we spent all this time planning, and I wasn't. Like, I mean, I'm still a little sad because it's like, oh, it's over, like it was such a good day and we're never gonna like have that again. I think I felt so good about how everything went that I couldn't even sit there and like feel bad. So yeah, I would say just have as much help as you possibly can, and try your hardest to trust that those people are going to get things done. And I think also kind of having the mindset of when things didn't go as planned, thinking through them, like the bouquet thing. We could have been like, it's not really what we wanted though, but then it was like really easy to go from one thing to one thing to be like, well, but like it turned out better. Or even like, do I wish I would have gotten the late night snack? Yes, but then I might have missed like a really good song on the dance floor and not created those memories with like my sisters or whoever I was on the dance floor with that time. So I think just also like a mindset thing of appreciating the things that you did get out of the day. I also have my biggest work event of the year next weekend, so like 2 weeks after our wedding. So it's been like really a stressful go time. Because we weren't able to leave for our honeymoon, which was a little bit hard. Honestly, it was hard to just have the weekend. We got married on Saturday. We were supposed to go back on Monday, but because of the car stuff and trying to get a rental and everything, we weren't able to get back until Tuesday. But I think like that wedding bubble of just enjoying that was so special that I do wish we could have stayed in that a bit longer. But I think our honeymoon being later on, it gives you something to look forward to after the wedding's over.
All over and then it's all normal. Yeah. So we are going on our honeymoon then in a couple weeks at least. So it's not that far out that we're waiting, but we are going to Italy for a week and Greece for a week. So it's definitely going to be a longer time away from work and more time just like together with us.
It's also like a slightly cheaper time to go than if we would have gone like right in the summer afterwards. So
it's the edge season helps. It's a little less busy there, so I think the timing is good. Like most things are still open and running, but with just slightly less people.
Do you feel any different now that we're married?
I have to remember to put on this ring all the time, and then when I take it off, remember that I took it off. So that's different. But I don't know. We've been together for a while. I feel like most of our life has been going the same since then. I think the only thing is we're no longer in the wedding planning mode. So now it's kind of okay, what's next? what do we do now type of thing. So that's changing a bit. I feel like it was kind of all the natural progression, everything I was kind of.
I never thought it was going to be that much different
Yeah.
though. But yeah, as you said, with the planning being over, I think there were a lot of life decisions that we were kind of putting off to the side because we were so focused on the wedding, and we were like, we gotta, get through the wedding. And so I guess I am a bit nervous now of having to, deal with some of the stuff, and not kind of have an excuse as to why. Well, we'll wait for that.
What do you mean? The excuse is we just got married.
Mm-hmm. But that is kind of our wedding reflection. I did post, or I am going to post, I don't actually know what I'll get to editing first, but a wedding day vlog, or like not even just the day, like the week, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a vlog, so that'll be fun. And we are planning on vlogging like future travels and everything, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and see you all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.